Take a breath for a moment. Slow everything down. If you're reading this right now, it's not by chance, but it's also not something to be afraid of. Sometimes awareness arrives quietly, not with noise or urgency, but with a gentle nudge that says, pay attention, that's what this moment is. Lately, you may have felt like something in your life hasn't fully made sense. Not chaos exactly, just a feeling of being slightly off course. Tired without a clear reason. Distracted even when you try to focus. Emotionally heavier than usual. Those experiences aren't a failure on your part. They're signals. And signals are meant to guide, not punish. In spiritual traditions, Archangel Michael represents protection, clarity, and courage. His presence isn't about fear or countdowns. It's about standing guard while truth becomes visible. When clarity shows up, it doesn't crash in. It lifts the fog slowly so your eyes can adjust. For a long time, you've been carrying weight that didn't belong to you. Other people's expectations, unspoken tensions, decisions you kept postponing because you were exhausted, not because you were incapable. That exhaustion mattered. It was your inner self asking for rest, honesty, and space. Something important has shifted recently, even if you can't fully explain it yet. Maybe it was a quiet prayer, a moment of honesty, or simply admitting, I can't do this alone anymore. That moment counted. It marked readiness, not perfection, just openness. January 3rd doesn't have to be mystical to be meaningful. Think of it as a pause point, a checkpoint where you stop repeating old patterns and start choosing with awareness. It's the moment you notice what drains you, who benefits from your silence, and where your energy has been leaking. You may be realizing now that some things happened without your input. Conversations you weren't invited into. Decisions that affected you more than others realized. That can hurt, but it also brings power back into your hands. What's revealed can finally be addressed. Here's the grounding truth. You are not under attack. You are not late. You are not broken. You are becoming more aware. And awareness is protection. Moving forward doesn't require confrontation or fear. It requires honesty with yourself first. Pay attention to what feels heavy versus what feels peaceful. Notice who respects your growth and who resists it. Your clarity will naturally realign your path. There may still be something from your past that quietly tugs at you. A memory, a betrayal, a fear you never named. You don't need to relive it. You only need to acknowledge that it shaped you and that it no longer gets to steer you. As this new chapter of the year opens, a powerful transition is quietly taking place. A pattern that has repeated itself for far too long is finally reaching its closing chapter. Before it dissolves completely, it needs to rise into your awareness one last time. Not to test you, but to be released with intention and clarity. This is an invitation to pause, breathe, and honestly acknowledge what's surfacing. When you do, you reclaim your power, because your awareness and spoken intentions shape what happens next. You are closer to a breakthrough than you realize. At the same time, there's a pull, familiar habits, old emotional loops, ways of thinking you believed you had outgrown. This message arrives now because the moment matters. It isn't here to alarm you. It's here to steady you. You're being supported to choose forward momentum instead of slipping back into what no longer fits. Clarity is becoming your new normal. A sharper sense of discernment is settling into your life. You may notice yourself reading between the lines more easily, picking up on subtle shifts in people's behavior, or feeling an immediate reaction to certain environments. Conversations might suddenly feel heavier, or certain places may no longer feel comfortable. This isn't negativity, it's awareness. You're seeing more clearly, and with that clarity comes the ability to protect your energy and make wiser choices. Right now, it may feel like you're standing between two paths. One leads back to the familiar, even if it was limiting. The other invites you into alignment, growth, and something genuinely fulfilling. If you've been quietly asking for reassurance that you're on the right track, consider this your confirmation. You are being guided through a moment of truth that will naturally reveal who and what truly belongs in your life moving forward. Heightened sensitivity is a sign of growth. If everything feels more intense lately, your emotions, your dreams, your instincts, that's not a sign of imbalance. It's a sign that you're waking up to yourself. Your inner world is more active because something meaningful is approaching. Long-standing delays are lifting, and situations that once felt confusing are beginning to expose their true nature. You may sense that something important has been held back until now, waiting for the right timing. That timing is arriving, but before it fully steps into your life, distractions and hidden intentions around you must come into the light. This is preparation, not punishment. You are not walking this alone. If you slow down and tune inward, you may feel a quiet reassurance, a sense of support during moments when you once felt exposed or uncertain. This is a reminder that you are protected, especially in areas where you've been most vulnerable. You're not fragile. You're standing at a point of transformation, where even small choices can create lasting change. Soon, what has felt confusing or emotionally heavy will start to make sense. The uneasy feelings, the vivid dreams, the sudden emotional reactions, they've all been signals, gently urging you to look closer. You're learning to recognize truth not just through logic, but through how things feel in your body and spirit. The truth is revealing itself. Pay attention to the subtle signs. A shift in someone's tone, an unexpected silence, a comment that lingers in your mind. These aren't coincidences. They are small clues guiding you toward understanding what's real and what isn't. You're being prepared to see people clearly, without fear or illusion. What's ahead is not something to brace against. It's something to step into with confidence. This moment is sensitive because it matters. You're on the edge of meaningful change, and everything unfolding now is helping you move forward with wisdom, strength, and clarity. Something in you has been quietly waking up. Your intuition is sharper than it used to be, and you're starting to notice subtleties you once brushed off. You can feel when someone's presence doesn't match their words, when smiles feel rehearsed, when support feels conditional. You're not suddenly overthinking. You're finally seeing clearly. There's likely someone close to you who hasn't been fully honest, not necessarily through obvious lies, but through hidden motives, unspoken resentment, or emotional imbalance. On the surface, they may appear kind or encouraging, but when you spend time with them, you feel oddly exhausted, heavy, or unsettled. That drained feeling is information. It's your inner compass signaling that something isn't aligned. For a long time, you sensed this disconnect but ignored it. You didn't have proof and you didn't want to believe it. That was self-protection. Now, the clarity you asked for is arriving, and it's arriving gently but firmly. You may have noticed pressure increasing in your personal space lately, especially at home or in close relationships. Emotions surface without warning. Your body reacts before your mind can explain it. Old thoughts resurface that don't feel like they belong to you anymore. This isn't chaos, it's release. When something that no longer serves you begins to loosen its grip, it often creates discomfort before relief. Right now, your environment is shifting because you are shifting. Boundaries are being redrawn. Old attachments are losing power. What once blended into the background can no longer hide. Think back over recent interactions. A comment that felt slightly off. A reaction that didn't match the situation. A conversation that replayed in your head because something didn't add up. Those moments weren't random. They were small signals, and together they form a bigger truth. This isn't happening to hurt you or isolate you. It's happening to protect you. Awareness is not punishment. It's preparation. You asked for clarity, and clarity often arrives by revealing what can no longer walk with you into the next chapter. There's also something from your past, an old dynamic, belief, or emotional tie that has been lingering longer than it should. Its influence has weakened, but before disappearing completely, it's making one last attempt to pull you back into familiar patterns. You couldn't have recognized this earlier. You weren't ready then. You are now. If you've felt tension in your space or shifts in relationships, it's because that influence is losing control. Truth rises when resistance falls. This moment isn't about loss. It's about exposure. Anything built on manipulation, imbalance, or secrecy cannot survive sustained awareness. Very soon, something will click. A conversation, a message, or even a noticeable silence. And when it happens, you won't have to analyze it. You'll know. That clarity will bring relief, not fear. It will explain why things felt heavy before and why they're about to feel lighter fast. What's ahead aligns with who you're becoming, not who you used to be. Stay present. Pay attention without panic. Trust what your body and intuition are communicating. You're not closing a chapter, you're finally opening the right one. There's something happening inside you that doesn't need noise to be real. It shows up in quiet moments, when you pause, when your guard drops, when you're not trying to figure anything out. A subtle nudge, a feeling that keeps resurfacing. Not urgent, not loud, just persistent. That's not random. That's awareness waking up. You've been sensing more than you've consciously understood. Your intuition has been working overtime, even when your mind was busy coping, adapting, or pushing forward. What looked like bad timing, repeated letdowns, or confusing encounters weren't failures. They were signals. Pieces moving behind the scenes while you kept going, even when it felt like nothing was changing. There has always been protection around you, even during moments that felt uncertain or lonely. Guidance didn't arrive as clear answers back then. It came as subtle redirections, dreams that lingered, gut feelings you couldn't explain, or sudden shifts that forced you onto a different path. At the time, it may have felt inconvenient or unfair. Now, it's becoming clear why those limits existed. A cycle has been trying to close. You may have noticed how certain experiences repeat themselves. Familiar dynamics, similar people, opportunities that look promising but don't last. It can feel like walking into the same room over and over, hoping something will finally be different. That room isn't your future. It's an unresolved attachment, an old emotional imprint, a fear you learned long ago that quietly influenced your choices even after you thought you'd moved on. You've grown. You've healed in visible ways. But some lessons don't announce themselves. They hide in reactions, hesitation, or the need to keep certain people or patterns close even when they drain you. What held you back wasn't weakness. It was loyalty to a version of yourself that once needed protection. That's why this moment matters. You are closer to expansion, stability, and fulfillment than you realize. The reason emotion surrounds this phase is because your next chapter requires space. Real space. Anything unresolved, unstable, or misaligned can't follow you forward. It wouldn't survive where you're headed. There's also someone in your life whose presence no longer feels the same. You didn't imagine that shift. Your energy picked it up before logic could explain it. Conversations feel heavier. The connection feels strained or uncertain. This doesn't mean they are bad or intentionally harmful, but they are unsettled within themselves, and that imbalance has been spilling into your space. When someone closely connected to you is unsure of who they are or where they're going, it can blur your own clarity. You may have felt more tired after interacting with them, more doubtful, or emotionally weighed down without knowing why. That's not your fault, and it's not something you're meant to carry anymore. Around January 3rd, understanding arrives. It may come through words, behavior, distance, or a moment that finally makes things click. However it shows up, you'll feel it immediately, not as pain but as relief. The mental fog lifts. Your chest feels lighter. Something you've been bracing against quietly releases. This is important. You are not losing anything of value. You are not being rejected. You are not being punished. You are being redirected carefully and intentionally. What's leaving cannot stand on the foundation your future requires. What stays will meet you with steadiness, honesty, and peace. This transition isn't chaos, it's preparation. It's the clearing before something solid and nourishing arrives. Your future is bigger than what you've been settling for. And you're not late, you're right on time. The fact that you can feel this shift now means the past no longer has the same grip on you. If it feels like something long-standing is finally loosening its grip on you, pause and honor that. Growth isn't always loud. Sometimes it shows up as quiet relief, clearer thinking, or the sudden realization that what once drained you no longer fits. When you speak about these shifts, even gently, you give others permission to believe that change is possible for them too. Staying open to messages that uplift you keeps your inner compass steady. Light multiplies when it's shared, and compassion never goes unnoticed. May peace guard your space and stability strengthen your resources as you continue forward with trust. Stay aware. Guidance has a way of arriving right when clarity is about to land, and soon the pieces will make sense in a way that leaves no doubt. You've reached a turning point, not just the end of a message, but a moment of awareness where something inside you recognizes itself. You might already feel it, a soft but undeniable shift, like a door opening where there used to be a wall. This is what happens when inner work meets readiness. You weren't rushed here and you weren't late. You were prepared, step by step, even during the seasons that felt confusing or quiet. Support has been present the whole time, helping you learn discernment, patience, and courage. What once felt like delay was actually alignment catching up. Nothing you struggled with was wasted. The questions that lingered, the emotions you carried alone, the moments when things fell apart without explanation. All of it shaped your awareness. You were learning what you can no longer tolerate, what you truly value, and how strong you are when you stop abandoning yourself. Even setbacks served a purpose. They taught you how to stand on your own truth instead of unstable ground. You had to release what couldn't grow with you. That included outdated expectations, uneven relationships, and patterns that demanded you shrink to keep the peace. The pressure you felt wasn't meant to crush you. It was creating space. What you've been experiencing is not loss for the sake of loss. It's renewal, clearing, a recalibration. When distance appeared between you and certain people, it wasn't proof that you failed. It was evidence that your direction changed. You no longer need to carry what was never yours to hold. What's emerging now is a steadier, more self-honoring version of you. One that isn't defined by confusion or fear, but by clarity and self-respect. You're no longer shaped by other people's chaos or slowed by the need for approval. The next chapter isn't about pointing fingers. It's about you finally being seen, even by yourself. This strength was built quietly, through resilience, reflection, and showing up when no one was watching. If you feel something aligning inside you, trust that recognition. It's your inner wisdom responding to the life you're stepping into. You're stepping into a time when confusion begins to fade, and everything that once felt unclear finally clicks into place. You'll see why certain plans didn't unfold as you hoped, why some people quietly left your life, and why some doors closed suddenly. Every delay was a form of protection, every ending a gentle nudge in the right direction, and every disappointment a sign that you were being guided towards something far better. As this new chapter settles in, a deep and steady calm will anchor you. A peace that doesn't rely on someone else's approval or constant reassurance. It's the kind of peace that comes from trusting that life is unfolding exactly as it should. The blessings that follow this release aren't small. They're significant and life-changing. What was held back wasn't meant to deprive you, but to safeguard both you and what was coming. A breakthrough is waiting, timed perfectly for when you are ready to receive it fully. Nothing new could thrive while your foundation was shaky, and now the stage is clear. You're entering a future where your heart no longer stretches for people who don't value it, where connections feel natural instead of draining, and where your purpose flows effortlessly instead of feeling forced. The chaos you once accepted as normal will no longer follow you. Clarity is coming, strong and unshakable. This isn't a small step. It's the chapter you were always destined for. You aren't being left behind. You're being lifted forward. You aren't losing anyone. You're finally finding yourself. When you fully reclaim your sense of self, everything else will fall into its proper place. Soon, you'll notice signs of this new season. The weight will lift from your shoulders, your anxiety will ease, and your rest will feel deep, nourishing, and uninterrupted. Your mind will feel lighter, your heart stronger, and a new wave of opportunities will begin flowing toward you, steady and certain like a tide returning to shore. This is your season of alignment. You are being watched over, guided, and protected. Confusion no longer holds power over you, and those who once drained your energy can no longer touch your spirit. The obstacles that once dictated your path no longer get a say. You are free. You are rising. You are stepping fully into the person you were always meant to be. As you embrace this moment, remember that sharing what uplifts you can also bring light to others who are searching. When you extend support, whether through encouragement or kindness, you may be helping someone carry a weight you once bore yourself. The universe promises that generosity, given with an open heart, returns in greater measure. Move forward boldly. Accept the protection, breakthroughs, and miracles that are meant for you. Walk into this next chapter with courage, knowing that what's ahead has been carefully prepared for your growth, your joy, and your fulfillment.